Today we're talking everything from Silo Season 3, Episode 9. We got to see how the silos are built. We even get an explosion. We get a pregnant Helen. We have so many questions answered. We're going to talk all that and more on episode of Unbinged starting now. Welcome into Unbinged, podcast of the shows, movies, and news you'd love to binge. I'm Alfredo Brown, joined by Jagger May and Vignesh Doraswamy, and today we are talking everything from the latest episode of Silo, but first we need the spoiler warning.
We're about to spoil Silo, maybe even some books. I'll try not to, but I will.
Joke's on you, I won't read the book. Ever. Even if there's a fire.
well, I think the books would be the first to go.
Not the books and the fires. I'd totally be the take my eyes, but not the books. Oh no. Guys, we got a lot of good answers from this episode. We even got a few more questions. And Vig, you posed a really good question here that I think for people who have not read the books and have theories and questions, we get this big explosion at the end of the episode. Who's to blame for that explosion? That's the question that you have here. You have some theories. I want to hear them.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I was going to pose that question to you guys, but clearly I think the answer to that question
not if you're not the host.
You know, I know, man, but I want to play
host. He's Will Ferrell and semi-pro.
Well, he's like, actually, I was going to pass it back to you.
Yeah, man, you tell me, who do you think is to blame? So I think we have some theories, right? Like Henry clearly is trying to tell Daniel to get back into the silo as he starts walking away. And Per Stenson is not, he seems sort of out of it, right? Like when the senator is telling him to, dude, just like pay attention. What are you doing? He seems sort of out of it. He's staring off into the distance, right? He's like looking at where that bomb might explode. I think Iran's not the answer. I think the easy answer is Per Stenson and a few other people know. The senator clearly doesn't seem to know about it. Right? She's like actually talking about this, and she seems sincere in her, like, I'm making the greatest speech of my life. So our trillionaire did this. He's destroying the world, nuclear holocaust, nanotechnology, whatever he wants, so that people can live in the silos. That's
Is this Fallout?
All I got.
Because that's how you get Fallout.
That's how you get Fallout.
This is Fallout.
I said it last week. What do you get the man that already has everything, that has all the money? He gets to play God, and that's what he wants to do. I'm right on board with this theory.
That's obviously different from the book, and now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't hate it. You know, like it's very modern in that way, and that's the least of my qualms, let's say, of anything. Because, like, yeah, I think it would be, it's not that it's Iran, because, like, look how paranoid he was. He was saying, like, this is gonna happen. And, like, in theory, that's correct, but, like, maybe not, because we have something called laws, the military, public opinion. There's a lot of things that can stop, you know, if you want to talk about the butterfly effect, surely we can't just project Earth to die by a million different ways and then, oh, I'm just going to do it anyway. And then what do you get in the end? You know, actually, I do know what he gets in the end. And now I'm putting things back, and I'm trying not to spoil more.
It just seems all way too convenient to have all the people there at the site. And in Vegas, even the way you said it, where they're like, don't leave the silo, don't stray too far away from this, and like the fact that they don't have great phone signal even where they're at, and they just have to go up the hill a little bit for some better phone signal just to contact someone elsewhere. It's like it leads me also back to the questions that Bernard had that Jules starts to ask, and says, like, all this is answered by the question why do the silos exist, which we obviously get a portion of that question answered, but then the why can't the silos communicate with one another, I think, is now probably the biggest question that we have remaining. I don't know, do you guys think there's a bigger question as to, because I think this is the first thread that you pull that unravels everything, is why the other silos can't communicate with one another?
It's the obvious answer. If they want to limit communication with their own silo, you definitely want to limit communication between the silos, particularly the people who are smart, like the Bernards of the world.
And now I ask the question again, why?
Because
I think it goes back to maybe you saying, man, he wants to be the savior, but he also wants to remake the planet, I think, in his image, so to speak, right? He gets to control the silos, the actions of the silos. He had two people work on a pact. Maybe he knows that AI wrote it or not. Doesn't really matter, but like he gets to create all these rules so that when people come back, the world isn't this world that was potentially heading towards a nanotechnology gray goose scenario. It's a world that he's created and cultivated, but you can't have people communicate. That's how you get new ideas. And the whole show is about mind control, right? Everything, or not mind control, it's about society control through memory and everything else. So it makes sense. It's beyond just being the savior. He probably thinks this is a way to save humanity by destroying it and building it back up in a way that he thinks is the best.
Yeah. So is this I'm saving humanity from themselves by not letting them communicate with one another, by if they just do what I think is best, everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he has a timeline in mind, right? We're 340 years out, and they've had to do some safeguard silos. They've had to reset some silos with memory, but they give us a hint. They say the pact was written for 500 years. And maybe that's just me reading into it too much, but maybe that's what he needs. 500 years to like cleanse the earth so it can be reborn in whatever messed up way he wants.
I feel like they just picked a round number. They're like, 500 sounds good. Is that what the AI
maybe.
told us? That's what ChatGPT said?
There's 50 silos, 10 years per silo.
I'll do the Vic thing and I'll throw it to you, Alfredo, because you're the only one who hasn't read the books.
I love it. We're just going to make that. We're going to call it. We're doing a Vig.
Yeah. I think that I'll ask you, if you were born in what you think is the world, like you are the world, you are the children, and
I said it in my head and I wasn't sure if you were going to do it.
I had to say that to you, but you're in the silo, and then all of a sudden it opens up and you discover that there is 50 times more of you, let's say, and even at 30 times more of you. How do you think those societies would blend? Because you got to think, over 500 years, the slang could be different. What kind of fucking memes are going on separately in these silos that all of a sudden you're going to come out here? Yeah. It's essentially like two alien worlds at that point. Is that something you think is a benefit?
I mean, it's no different than society that we have currently, where different countries are different. There's different cultures, and granted,
but we know they exist.
We communicate with them.
We communicate,
right? Okay, but like also going back to this too, it's like if they all have the same AI control, the same rules, the same food, the same culture, the same everything, how different are they really? Like I think that's asking a question when we're already at the end of the problem, or at like the final step. You get me? Like I don't know that question addresses why they didn't do this from the beginning. You get me? Like why cut off all communication between the different silos? And I think it just does come back down simply to control. I don't know that he actually is genuinely trying to keep them safe from one another.
Well, here's this. This is another philosophical question, and even if it is a question, I think it's an obvious answer. If you know that there's a safeguard and they will use it, what happens if you use the safeguard, and what are you going to explain to the other 49 silos after you say, like, well, what happened to silo 49? Do you tell them like they need some time to work on themselves and they're going to be gone for a while? Do you say they went to a farm? And I think that would...
a nice silo upstate.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just like explain that shit away. So you need to be able to quite literally destroy them within a silo and not let the other ones know, because like that's where they are now. So trying to figure out.
I think that like lends itself all back to the control theory, right? Like then there's the how often we're allowing you to breed, where there's only a certain like. Did I get this wrong? Are there like any pets whatsoever? Like there's no approved pets.
There's sanctioned pets. He talks about it. Bernard actually says it. He says every woman, child, person, and sanctioned pet hates me.
Yeah, and for example, like when you learn Solo's journey, in the book you actually see Solo grow up. It's like a whole section in there. He has a cat, and it goes all I Am Legend, where he has a cat and you see the fucking cat die. It's really sad. So
Solo's had a rough life, man. Book Solo,
just made
TV
me sad.
Solo, it's all terrible.
Yeah,
it just made me really sad. It's been a tough week too, man. We lost so many good people in in art. It's just it's a rough one. This makes me kind of laugh though when we think of this thing that runs the silos in a way where the pact that everyone has followed is potentially run by AI, and like there was no artistry to it, there was no real human thought put into it. It was just AI written and AI controlled, or at least it's seemingly AI controlled from here on out, the silos. That was to me a really funny reveal that they just kind of threw out there pretty flippantly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's real, right? He could have just said that to like tone it down. Maybe they really did work on a real pact. But how hilarious would it be if it really was just ChatGPT wrote the pact? 300 years later, all these silos are just following some arbitrary thing written by, something that's not even human. And I, not to offend anyone's religious sensibilities, but I think that's like essentially a dig at organized religion, right? Like people followed the words of a book from like thousands of years ago that, is it real? Is it not real? There's no objective evidence, But yeah, that is hilarious, though. I think that if AI wrote the pact and they're all just following whatever AI wrote,
it's wild. And I mean, you actually point out here that you could hear the algorithm telling everyone to get into the silo, so it's not Daniel's voice. But also, could it be this other doctor's voice? This doctor, what was it? Victor Krinkovich? Sure, that one. Yeah. Because in the conversation that we have with Camille and Bernard and the supposed AI voice, he starts to kind of piss it off, saying like, you don't know much more than I do you? And he's like, couldn't you tell? Like, it got frustrated. And then they talk about it. Yeah, the voice actually tried to console Camille like at another point. So I don't know, is that the AI trying to sound more human, or is it actually a human? I can understand the AI trying to console someone, but to actually get frustrated, that one feels inherently human. Jag, you're muted.
And you could feel frustration just in like language, like even in an AI voice, you could tell when it's being sarcastic or frustrated, and I think that they give themselves away, especially with how much they interact with the heads of IT. And you would have to think they don't understand what a Turing test is, but the AI would pass a Turing test, and I don't mean that in like a good way, because like if you don't know, if you haven't watched what's it, Ex Machina, that's like, can you tell if something is AI or not? That's the basis of the test on it. And I don't think that the AI that's supposed to be AI would pass its test, and therefore it is clearly just so human in its actions and its motives. Just the way it even reasons, I think, is just entirely too human. Granted, this is a science fiction show, so AI could be as fucking advanced as what they say it is. I don't know, but I'm going to guess it's human. Because why would a billionaire want to give up management and control to a human or to AI and not keep that to himself in some way, whether it be legacy or keeping himself alive somehow?
Yeah, I think that's the answer, man. It's got to be a human. I think the bigger question really is like, how do you indoctrinate humans to do this over centuries, right? Like, it can make sense, the originals, right? Like Daniel, you convince him to be a part of the algorithm. They mentioned so many different times that, dude, you have a gift. You're so smart. We would have loved to have you with us. Like, that's how he's in Silo 1. That's how he's like conscripted into this, and how they make him do it is clear. It's something about, dude, the only way you see your wife and kid is if you do this with us. So as much as he hates it, he has to do it. He's separated from Helen and the kid.
Did she make it? I don't think she made it.
Well, he doesn't know that. I don't know, man. Maybe she makes it. I don't know. We'll see.
Brother, she'd have to be the fastest pregnant woman alive if she made that.
Bro, you gotta see her. She's moving in her prime, man.
Man. She's booking it, hitting 4.2 in the 40.
Look, man, James Harden gained weight. He was still able to run. You never know what Helen could do. She's a sand.
Yes, but anyway, let's do that. Let's compare.
Fat Luka. Fat Luka was a 38-8 player, man. That's all I'm saying.
Babe Ruth was out here leading the league in home runs.
Oh. But, you know, whether she makes it or not is irrelevant, I think, to some degree, because Daniel needs to be convinced to cooperate. Or maybe not. But if he's being convinced to cooperate, that's the only way you do it.
Oh, there we go. I think it just connected some dots, at least, that could be explained as to why communication doesn't happen with the other silos, because that's a great way to never have to tell him that she didn't make it. Is, oh, well, we can't communicate with the other silos. So
you go and gaslight the entire rest of the human race for one nigga's relationship.
Yes.
That's
no, I don't think that works, man.
Because then you can use him the way that you need to. Because what happens
there is communication? Well, I guess he doesn't know. You're right. Silo 1 does have control, and they can see images and they can see videos from all the other silos. But you're right.
That's what I'm saying. Because what happens when all of a sudden, one, he finds out Helen and his kid are dead. 2, he potentially, if he ever finds out that this whole explosion is on them, at least this way he has hope that he's seeing them again, and he's trying to make it a society with rules and structure. And you can keep using him. Like at this point now, he's a tool, and that's something that I forget his name, but a billionaire guy says. He's like, man, I really wish Stinson, there we go. I really wish we would have had you for this. Like just you telling us, to do 50 diggers really saved us like 5 years time. So, okay. Is that not foreshadowing that he'll do whatever to make sure that he can utilize him in the future?
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
And that's the answer. It's all about control, man. But the bigger question, I think, is unless you have like cryogenic preservation and you're like freezing and thawing people out every few years, you lose your initial people. Or there's some other way. I don't know. Maybe it's nanobots. Maybe they upload their consciousness. Who knows what science fiction nonsense this guy's come up with?
Again, I go Fallout because that's how you get a Fallout.
That's how you get Fallout.
Yeah, I uploaded my consciousness and now I run Las Vegas.
I mean, it's not like it's
what
something
city would you want to run? What city would you want to run if they uploaded your consciousness and you only get to run this one city? What would it be?
Wow, that's fun. Damn.
Like, is it the only city in the world though, or is it a
sure? No,
whatever.
It's Fallout rules. It's Fallout rules, but
it's probably one of the few cities that have working anything.
Yeah, and you only got its existing infrastructure.
Okay, is like the world like pretty fucked around it?
Yeah, everything's fucked. Like it's Last of Us, Fallout.
Okay, so me saying like Miami is no longer fun because those beaches aren't cool. Like Miami doesn't exist, dog.
Yeah, Miami's the toast. New York sounds stressful, man.
Yeah, New York was my first thought because it's home. Oof. But yeah, that sounds really stressful. No resources. What are you gonna do? You're done.
Yeah, everything is imported from there. Everything is like hard brick. Like Central Park is your main resource where homeless people fuck. Like, I don't know, man.
Not anymore. Central Farm now.
Oh, this is really good. Damn.
Denver's my speed, but I think I'd choose Denver. A lot of resources, clean water,
Denver's a good spot. I think I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or I would, that's it. I'm with you. We'll go to Denver.
Just do it. Denver.
Right now we're outside
Vic,
Atlanta,
write that down.
And they blew everything up. Write it down. I got it. Denver.
Atlanta's not bad either, though. There's resources in Atlanta.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like you're not far.
Good choice.
Allegedly, they have great strip clubs. I don't know. I've never been.
We'll find out next time.
On the next episode.
You got to pay for premium on that, baby.
Yeah. You guys hear that the Atlanta Hawks did like a night where like it was all about one of the famous strip clubs?
Yes. It's
wild.
That's actually a line. I feel like I'm getting old because I'm like, this is
like maybe you shouldn't have done that one.
Yeah.
I have to look this up what it's called. I don't know why I'm stuck on this right now, but I need to know.
Miami did it too. It was like a stripper night. Right?
Yeah, it was the Magic City Gentlemen's Club.
Yeah,
in Atlanta.
So, guys, if there is
Miami,
if I run a silo, there will be a stripper level. Like I think like down deep is just where you get hookers. It's not actual mechanic. Like mechanicals in the middle, down deep is just fucking a stripper. It's like you can buy drugs there. Basically, I want it to feel like Arcane, like that show, like when you go down, it just gets sketchy as shit. And I want it to actually be mostly hood because that feels comfortable to me.
Well, we've gone really off the rails here. We started with where would you run your AI silo? I don't know how much of this is making the cut. Alfredo's keeping it all.
All of it, dude.
This is probably what you wanted. We wanted the answers to why they don't let the other silos talk. Imagine if we were each running a silo right now. This is some fuck ass shit that we just did in a matter of
Alfredo.
minutes.
Yeah, Alfredo, head of IT. I'm like, buddy, you got to get strippers over there. You got to get strippers. Like, they love it.
I'm over there with some super like, Jack, we got this ice cream machine, man. It's nuts. You can do 2 flavors at the same time.
Have you had soft serve? It's crazy, bro. It's like
chocolate vanilla swirl. It goes hard.
Froyo everywhere. Then he calls me next year. Yeah, Froyo's out. They're all
Froyo's way out. We're not doing it anymore.
So I have a question for you. Not to get us back on track, but a little bit on track.
No, definitely get us back on.
Is Peter Gabriel? Does he make it to the silos, or is he dead?
What if
is he like the biggest celebrity? What if it is Peter Gabriel? The AI is Peter. You know, Peter Gabriel had that song at the end of episode 1, right? The "Come Talk to Me" or whatever.
Sorry, Vic.
No, you're good, man. I started thinking about like, why are there so many? This episode, for whatever reason, just felt like it had a lot of more religious overtones, like the pact, you know, being something you follow religiously. Like the dumbest thing in the world is like, bro, what if someone like needs a wheelchair? Like, why can't you just have elevators? And like they talk about it. They're like, I didn't even tell Shirley about the elevator because it's such a big violation of the pact. And then they talk about Stenson's Ark. Peter Gabriel's song, literally, that he's singing for his mic check is "Here Comes the Flood." And I'm not sure if that's thematically going somewhere else. Like, is the idea that Per Stenson sees himself as God or a son of God? I mean, that's what he's doing. Especially if he engineered this whole thing and the bombs are his fault, and like he engineers a nuclear holocaust or a Grey Goose scenario, whatever that might be. But it's sort of weird. I don't know. Have y'all noticed before this being like, obviously there's been some religious imagery and themes, but this one felt a little heavy-handed.
I mean,
what happens if you believe in God and this happens, right?
Yeah.
Like, it almost kill your religion. Like, how would you believe
I don't think
God?
anyone in the silo believes in God at this point or organized religion. Like, the only thing that they believe in is the pact.
I mean, there's going to be a religion somehow, right?
I just feel like it feels hard to have killed that, right? Like religion has survived so many years, 500 years in a silo or less, like shouldn't have killed religion unless you totally stop all information coming through. But you got to imagine a lot of rich white people going into those silos. At least a few of them have been to church and passed that down to their kids, who passed it down to their kids and kept it going. Like,
memories erased, man. They probably vitamin D plus every silo every now and then, right?
I keep forgetting that they have those different buttons where it's like, oh, this is a problem. Nah, that's gone now. We don't have to worry about any of that. That almost makes me more annoyed as for what our theories could be, because they could all just be extremely ridiculous, the results.
But here's my point is I think that it's human nature to worship stupid shit in some form or manner, because it's changed over time. When they're like, hey, the sun is a star, it's not like a god, and they're like, oh, okay, you know, well, we're gonna make a god up. Yeah. Exactly.
But that's the pact, right?
Hold on. I'm sorry. This is such an off-track episode. Can we share this with everybody? That Jag went to Las Vegas for a big fantasy football, like, national holiday thing. He met James Roday, the lead actor from Psych, and he got him to record a video with him where James tells me to take a step back and literally fuck my own face. And that is my first interaction with one of my favorite actors and favorite TV show leads ever.
How did that get brought up? You would dying to say that on a pod. I feel like he's like,
no, well, because
what's the context? What's the context?
I said you heard about Pluto, and that like triggered the cycle.
That's fair. Wow, you really went from there to Psych
that
real
was
quick.
That was real. Well, guys, don't unfollow us. Well, like, this is like, we're off today.
We're just having fun.
We're having fun.
We're having fun.
To be real, actually, we haven't even talked what's happened inside the silo at this point. We haven't gotten to Bernard, because I was going to say not a lot happened, but like Bernard leaves. Why do they still call it cleaning? That's fucking dumb. I guess when you
they didn't even make him clean. Like, it's
religion. Well, he didn't. He was supposed to go out to clean. He didn't. He chose.
Now we brought it back.
There we
Yeah,
back to
because
religion.
like everyone knows you're going out to die. You know, it's not like, oh, he's gonna clean, and then like, oh, it's still fucked outside. You know, like that's all like done. Just say, hey, we gotta Bernard. You know, sorry, you know, he's kind of an awful person. I think everyone would probably just shoot him and throw him out. You don't need to do the whole ceremony because you're almost making martyrs out of these people at this point. It used to be a form of control. Now that you know that they're going to go out to die, you're making martyrs out of people. That's why the CIA like disappears people. They don't, you know, murder them, you know.
They just go missing. Happens.
Sorry,
Can I ask
FBI
you a
agent.
question? How
You
has
always
the
do,
tree
Vic.
not changed in one bit in 300 years? If you look at the tree that Bernard dies up against, it is the exact same shape, structure, everything as Helen's tree outside of Silo 18. It has nothing
not
to
a
do
real
with anything,
tree.
but I'm like, it's been my thought maybe is there any chance it isn't 300 years?
I mean,
Like
there's also a chance that maybe none of the stuff around that surrounding area is actually real. It could all be synthetic stuff.
True.
What if it's like
That's
a tree
fair.
of
Like a fake
sadness?
tree.
Like we're gonna like you need something to look at, you know, like let's put it this way. They designed stuff so meticulously that we're gonna put a tree so you can look at it and wonder. And like we're gonna call it your little dream tree where there's no like
be.
leaves on it and you can put all
good
your
book.
hopes and dreams of going outside on this tree. Don't say it, but like mentally put it on there. And like that's what we're gonna do to these people. Like it's the greatest gaslight job I've ever seen ever. So, you know.
That's essentially what the silo is like in general. It's been like the whole act of creating the silos has been a gaslight job. It's
We're
been
all gonna die because I want it to.
yeah.
Yeah. Jacker, I know you want to talk about Bernard. I have one last thing I do want to talk about the before time, so to speak, which is Daniel knows something is off, right? He's like, my sister wouldn't have sent me this sort of text. I can't get messages through to my. He's like, wait, why can my sister text me back? And like, I can't get to my wife and child. I wonder, like, he knows something's off. He has probably figured out that the bomb is from Stenson. Yeah, he's not an idiot. They actually keep talking about how smart he is. So I really do want to see how do they coerce him to work with them if they do, or how does he work on the inside to undermine the old project? Like, is he working on a long con from the inside? I don't know. We'll find out.
They just give him the memory stuff. Or
do they have? I guess that's right.
Forget me not.
No, they have to have it, right? They have to have that set up.
What if we are looking at a Galen Erso situation here, where he kind of becomes the engineer, but he also has his own little failsafe here?
Yeah,
where you know, if you just go down this little trench and shoot down into this little ventilation shaft, the whole silo can come apart.
Maybe. That'd be nice.
Because I have to imagine that the way things are going, there is going to be some insane resentment. Obviously, not like with the worries about his sister, who I'm going to assume is now dead. Helen, who I'm also going to assume is now dead. His child, who I'm going to assume is now dead. And he's the only one left. And he's going to probably assume that this has all been planned and he is being utilized and taken advantage of. So the only thing he can do really is go along with it because you're now trapped in this silo, but he can do it his way and plant these little traps the way he wants.
I think Paris Stinson, obviously he's the one who created vitamin D plus. He seems like such a fucking douchebag. Yeah, with the doctor. Yeah, gave him the funding. He seems like such a fucking douchebag that he would literally name a roofie drug vitamin D plus. And that is his solution to fix all of his problems. Is like he's literally Job in Arrested Development. You know, he's just like it's it's too easy to forget. You know, like always popping them roofies to forget shit. And that's what I think they're going to do to the people who work in the silo.
And that's why they work so hard to get rid of anything they have. Relics, like everyone walks in with their smartphones or everything else, they can have no memory of what happens, right? So if those relics can bring back memories, they got to destroy it all.
And you're going to be this unwitting worker, kind of, where you're and obviously he's smart. Like we keep saying, he's smart, and he figured something out that the billionaire couldn't. Like, hey man, just make 50 drills and leave them down there and see what happens. And he's like, hey man, we can use that, and I can't buy you, but I can, kill your wife and like make
he's
you
the only
sad
one
and
that
give you a
knows,
roofie.
right? Daniel's the only one that knows probably. Everyone else is probably like, oh my God, what a stroke of luck that on the day that I'm touring, or the workers who've been working there for like a year with their $200,000 a year salary, they're like, oh my God, what luck that we happen to be here when everything blew up. Like some people will figure it out.
Orientation day.
Yeah. I think most people are just going to be excited that they are alive. And they're probably going to be like, thinking like Pear's already God to them because he inadvertently in their mind saved them from nuclear holocaust.
Yeah, I think that what you can do obviously is like people who survive something traumatic together, they bond together, right? So now each of the individual people that are in these individual silos are going to be bonded to one another, and then you change your appreciation for life. Oh my God, thank God we're alive. Okay, yeah, we'll do whatever. You guys saved us. I owe you my life. Whatever you say, let's do that because you're going to keep us safe. Like it just
and the doctor talks about it, right? He even says, I thought I wasn't really going to be very useful, but turns out if there's a big trauma, hint, hint, happening in 30 minutes, I'm really useful.
Because I don't remember what kind of doctor is he? Isn't he a psychologist?
He does memory stuff. He's like either a psychologist or a neurologist or a neuropsychologist, right? It's all.
Yeah.
He made something weird, and now it's his job professionally teaching people how to use it and using it. That's his job. He's like, hey, I made this creepy fucking thing. Here you go, billionaire. Yeah, I'll be your guy who manages it because I made it, and then that's his fucking life now. Am I minimizing him? Yes, because his weird memory joke is nasty, and it's weird, and I want him to feel bad, even though he's fictional.
So. We'll let him know. Someone pass this along. Guys, we have one more episode after this of Silo, and what I want to ask is just from a TV viewing standpoint, as an audience member, do you feel like we are getting sufficient payoffs and sufficient answers for the amount of questions that we keep getting? I know this is a delicate line that a lot of modern TV shows like to kind of dance on, and we see that with stuff like Severance, where they'll answer one question and then give you two more questions, and then it'll keep you lingering for the next season. Knowing that we have one more episode this season and one more season overall, Vig, I'll start with you. Do you feel like we are on the correct path? Like everything is still on time and on schedule for this show?
I'm going to say yes, with the caveat that, for the most part, we've been like ragging on these episodes. We've talked about the season largely being just a snooze fest, taking too long, could have been better writing, and if it was 6 episodes. And in that context, I think yes. I still agree with everything we said before, but I think they finally got us some big answers. Like, Jules asks us the question why. We finally get an answer to that. I do think they're headed in the right direction. There are more questions. We're talking about all of them now, but ultimately, I think they just have to stick a landing, and they have 11 episodes to do it. I think that's plenty of time to do it, and I think that maybe they can be a bit more fast paced about it. But overall, I don't hate it. I still think this is an above average, pretty good, but maybe not very good or excellent show, which is a bit of a turn from the first 2 seasons. I definitely thought season 1 was like outstanding and up there. Yep. And I think season 4 has a potential to bring it all back. And I think in hindsight, we can view this whole show through a different lens and be like, wow, this is great. But you got to sort of nail that last season to get us there.
I will say it feels like we've had exponential, like an exponential graph here where it's just been like, like that's kind of where we're at right now. So,
well, with one episode left, we always do this at the end of the season, but on a scale of 1 to 10, when we rate these shows, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, we have one episode left. Where would you guys consider this show to be at?
7.5 right now. And
okay. if so 6.5 for Jag, 7.5 for Vig.
Mm-hmm. This is tentative for me. Like if the next episode is good, it could be 7.5. I'm just like, the last 2 episodes have been pretty good, man. I need you to stick this landing because you took a fuck ton of time to get here. An entire car ride about flirting to get to, like, we knew they were gonna fuck and make a kid someday. So it took way too long to get there.
I think the show, like, at its to steal some like the fantasy football terminology that we use, I think that at its floor, I don't think it's any lower than a 6 this season. And at its ceiling, I think the highest I can get to is going to be a 7.5. So I think it's going to end up falling somewhere in that range, even with like a phenomenal a great finale. I think this probably ends up being a 7.5 overall as a season. At best case scenario, Vig, you're already at a 7.5. So
yeah, no. I think that's where it's going. No, I think I just think I was saying I think that's where it's going to end. Since you had said like, how do we think about the season as a whole? Barring a terrible finale, I think this is a 7.5, and that's not a big knock. I think the first season was an 8.5, 9. Second season was an 8, 8.5. A slow trend down, but only because again, I really know that the season is a big setup season, and we have this whole arc that we don't know about. Like there is no talk right now. When was the last time we talked about Patrick Kennedy and Lucas Kyle? Like that hasn't come to fruition yet, right? We haven't even talked about what's happening in the silo now. So I think this last episode has potential. They bring back Solo, who I think is one of the strongest elements, if not like the best characters in the show that we don't get to see enough. He's probably coming back in this last episode. And I think that just inherently is going to make this last episode way stronger. Of course, we still need good writing, but I can't imagine they completely mess this up.
Can I just say, man, Steve Zahn brings it.
Dude, so good.
150%. Every role
every time.
I was watching National Security the other day with Gabby, and that's it. It's like it's an objectively bad movie because it's fun. I just wanted to throw something on in the background while we were doing stuff, and I'm just like, I'm here watching. I'm like, man, this is not Martin Lawrence's best work. And there's a lot of bad work from Martin Lawrence. But I'm watching Steve Zahn and I'm like, this dude is giving 110% on every scene, like doing stunts, going full in on the dramatic acting and the comedy. And then I see him here in Silo and I'm just like, every time he's on screen, he crushes. Absolutely crushes.
Dude, everything, man. White Lotus, Dallas Buyers Club, War for the Planet of the Apes. Like he is the, Steve's, I don't know. I was going to come up with something funny about how he's like the Gary Oldman.
Weird how National Security is not in up near the top of his resume for you. No,
I didn't know he was in that movie, dog. Like,
I haven't seen that movie. Go watch it again. It's classic.
Jagger doesn't watch bad movies.
Yeah, I'm okay, man. I think I'm gonna watch almost anything else.
It's a classic.
If I go to sleep and I wake up and it's accidentally on, I will get up and turn the TV off.
National Security is gonna be waking Jagger up in the middle of the night like those old infomercials for the CDs.
Yeah,
you can have the greatest love songs of our time. It's just Martin Lawrence.
Girl Scout Wild, Ultimate Rush.
It's a theater people, man. Theater people do so well. Steve Zahn, didn't he like create a theater thing with like Ethan Hawke back in the day and somebody else? Maybe I lose
really?
track,
that's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
I was not aware of his game, man.
Dude. Theater people, man. Aaron Pierre, a theater guy, just happens to look like Aaron Pierre. It's why he's so good. Watch Lanterns.
Emma Darcy, great. House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
You guys saw she might be in X-Men as Moira McTaggart?
I did not, but I see it.
Chag's like, all right. Yeah. Face.
Yeah. A person.
that's certainly a casting.
Yeah. Back to the silo, though. In the silo. Jagger had some good points talking about Tim Robbins and his martyrdom. I want to talk about that.
I thought we were already done. Okay, yeah.
I'm going to do the Vic thing. I'm going to do the Vic thing, and I'm going to throw it to Fred. I didn't get to hear Fredo's thoughts on this, man. So yeah, you talked about Tim Robbins at the very beginning being like one of the biggest strengths of the show, and now he's probably dead. We brought him back. Do you feel like it was worth it? Do you feel like the way it was done and the way he was brought back, only to end him again within the span of 3 episodes, was that good payoff?
I think I do think that him coming back carried a good weight. One, because I think his sacrifice meant something in terms of the logistics of what they're trying to do. It wasn't like a totally meaningless death. I think that it gave us a little more insight into the AI voice or the algorithm, whatever we want to call it. It gave us a little more insight into his previous decisions, more insight into Camille and why she's making the decisions she's making. It was a way to get into her psyche without actually having her just come out and say it. So it was a good way to have exposition without making it too exposition-y, if that makes sense.
No, it does. That's what I was hoping you would say. If not, I was going to say it. I actually think this is a good example. Jag, I'll let you finish in a sec too. Sorry, my man. But this is a good way of bringing a character back to kill him off again. And right before that, right, he talks about with the algorithm and Camille about redemption and how everybody loves a good redemption story. And besides a handful of people, no one really gets to know his redemption story. He comes back as a villain and is sent to die as a villain. And Camille probably knows. Jules knows. Jules will eventually, but we'll tell everyone else. But I do wonder if does his story become a redemption story, and does he become does he truly become like a martyr? Well, in the silo, does he become that? Because no one knows that in the silo right now. But that could be a nice direction.
The masses don't know, but that
the masses. That's what I mean. A few people know, but the masses don't know. The masses are excited. They're like, this guy has no suit. Whatever, sucks to suck. He deserves to die. That's probably what they think.
And let's talk about the mystery about supply as well. I guess like what the fuck is like going on there?
Dude, I'm still going with my theory, man. All these big explosions, everything else. I don't think so. I still think it's not an elevator to nowhere yet. But I do think. Do y'all remember my theory from last week that's how they escape either the safeguard or something else happening? Is like there's this whole extra area that's outside of the silo that's been created. Probably can't hold 10,000 people, but it can hold a lot of people that escape a safeguard. Nothing else makes sense. I just don't know. This, like, it really is a bridge to nowhere unless, I mean, it can't be as simple as we found a way to climb up. Like, we found an extra elevator to go up and down in 10 minutes. Like, if that's the only payoff, that's fine, whatever. But it's got to lead to something else. Like, there has to be like an extra silo place where they're like have created a mini silo or engineered another area where they're using the light bulbs and everything else. Like, it's got to be something like that.
I would hope that's what they're doing, so that it's not just like a simple plot convenience, right? Like, there's actually been something that's been brewing this whole time, and that's fine if you want to slow play it like that. I just think it was maybe it's a good thing that we didn't care much about it, because it's kind of the thing happening in the background while the other storylines are taking place. But it's one of those things that every time it's come on screen, I'm just like, oh, cool, we're talking about the light bulbs again.
Mm-hmm. If that doesn't have a payoff in episode 10, then I don't think I can make this a 7.5. Like, I'm not waiting another 2 years to get the payoff from this Orla Kent side story.
Well, that's got to be it, right? Like, why else would you be taking light bulbs unless you're trying to go light an area that is not normally well lit, right? Like a place for people to go survive. Yeah. That would also mean, though, that like more people are in on this, saving ourselves from the vitamin D plus, right? Like,
maybe, I don't know if they know that it's vitamin D plus. I just think it's the mines guy talks about it, right? Like, he says a lot of people are in the mines just because they made a stupid mistake. Not everyone's a murderer. Like, we don't deserve this. It's probably just them wanting their own society, right? It's them being like, this is our out. We're going to steal everything, make our own path. We need the light bulbs to go through this tunnel.
Little clubhouse scenario.
Yeah, just like create their own like silo within a silo, or silo external to the silo, so they can have their own society and not be bound to these rules. Because what I don't get, my biggest conundrum with all of this, like my biggest plot point that I don't understand is you can't like dig more than 300 feet or whatever, so you don't run into another silo. But like, where are the non-renewable resources coming from? Like, this had to have an end date in mind, right? Like, whether it's light bulb, like, sure, you have some cows and you're going to breed them and you can grow things, but like, and maybe use their manure for fertilizer. But like, yeah, man, I don't know. Like, what's around there? Did they plant veins of ore for people to find to be able to make things? Like, was Per Stenson that thoughtful? Or is he just in a place that has all these natural resources? But you need a ton of resources.
Veins of ore? Like,
I don't know, man. It's science fiction, bro. We have nanotechnology that can do anything, right? I mean, that's my guess for the how do you engineer nuclear stuff is they told us that your planes were taken over by nanotech. So my assumption is they took over something to like get, you don't need the launch codes or whatever, or you took over nukes from another country. Who knows?
I also have to imagine, what if Silo 1, because they said all the silos are the exact same, right? When the guy makes the joke of like, oh, this one's the best one. Just kidding. They're all the same. Like, how much better is Silo 1, right? Like, if you had the power or the technology of nanotech and all these other things, like, who's to say that Silo 1 doesn't look like the fucking spaceship from WALL-E, and like everything's really great in there and it's totally different, and there's a bunch of different resources that are just not, maybe some of those get sent out to the other silos, and like, just I don't know, I feel like there's a lot that you could kind of open a can of worms with.
It just feels very hand wavy at that point. And know, for a series that was well,
but how much of this is like it, a lot of it is hand wavy because of the technology, because like they're talking to a supposedly sentient AI algorithm voice in an area where like there's no other technology quite like it, and it's the end of the world. Like, there's enough hand wavy shit here going on that it's like, I don't put it past them.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm with Vig that it has to matter, and it I don't want to spoil like what happens in the book, but like obviously they're going to need a backup plan if they can't stop the safeguard, and like there needs to be a place, I guess, where I feel like at least half that silo is going to die regardless, because that place can't be too big. It feels like someone just wants to make their own little own little paradise. So
he said paradise.
Yeah.
Hey. Guys, I think Vig, you want to throw one more thing there?
No, I don't think so. I think, again, I just need good payoff. I need this last episode to put it all together. The truth is, I mean, I read the book so long ago, I honestly don't remember. I read it all in the span of a week, like feels like more than a decade ago. So, I don't remember, but I do remember feeling dissatisfied with the book ending. It felt like the ending of the book, I don't even remember the details, felt like the author had to like cave into his fans and create a sort of ending that wouldn't upset everybody. And that's a tough act to follow for show writers, for the showrunners and the writers on this show. So I'm curious to see how they end it. We have 11 episodes. We won't see them for another couple of years at this point, at the rate shows are being done these days. So we'll see.
The Pit says hello. They're just cranking those bitches out every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like 16 episodes, just nuts.
Slow Horses, 6 seasons in 4 years. Every time they end a season, they already have a trailer for the next season. They fucking cook, bro.
That's hot.
They cook. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in on that.
Not Apple TV Plus, though. Not with their Severance and Lasso and Silo taking like 50,000 years.
Well, guys, it won't take 50,000 years for us to get to next week's episode, the finale of Silo, season 3. And we will be back every week. Well, next week. But we'll be back every Thursday now, because after Silo finishes, we're going to have Dark Matter coming up. We're going to hit episodes 1 through 3 to kick off that series. And then we'll be joining you guys weekly every week for that. We've also got Lanterns that we're doing on HBO. We've got Ted Lasso that we're covering on the audio side. That's important. You guys head on over to Apple or Spotify if you're not already there, so you can catch those episodes with us. As always, I want to thank everybody for watching or listening all the way through. For myself, for Vig, for Jag, we'll see you next time. Adios.